Hello, everybody. This is Kiran from Logon Software India, uh, Logon Software and Services. Today, we'll be discussing about security aspects and in ITAMs or discovery, how to manage your IT assets, and how to manage the software licenses and assets that we have, and the challenges that we typically face in this. So let's start off with who we are. We are Logon Software, like I mentioned earlier. We are partner for an organization called Landsweeper in Asia. We have local presence in Hong Kong, Macau, Singapore, Malaysia, and we have strategic partnerships and alliances in Nepal, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and other countries. Our main focus area of business has been application and infrastructure security. That is what we'll be looking at. And what we do as such is, other than just giving products or things like that, we also look at third-party risk mitigation and infrastructure vulnerability management, be it applications or networks or whatever else. And we look at web application vulnerability and threat intelligence, and we provide solutions for multi-factor authentication. This is what we do in terms of value addition in Asia. And today's agenda will have an overview of what are the challenges in ITAM and what we need to overcome these. And we'll introduce to you the product Landsweeper, and we look at how it can help you to handle a lot of um, issues that can come and pose security threats to the infrastructure within your organization. And that's about it as far as the product goes. So if you look at what are the most key challenge areas in IT asset management, these we think, according to us, these are the four major areas where every new asset that comes into the organization has to be compliant with or should conform to. These are areas where we have a lot of issues. For example, knowing when the last security information and event management systems were last maintained, when were the last upgraded, or how up to date are they with the current threats that appear over and over time, and what about the licensing and how to consolidate them and renewals and things like that. That's a big domain by itself, but this primarily one of the major concern areas. Next, a major area we look at the network hardware. What was the last maintenance schedule of it? Is it being upgraded over a point of time? Is the device outdated? We have questions like these. And what about the support from the manufacturer? What does it cost for me to upgrade in case it's end of life, and so on, things like that. And we also know that security policy and procedure management cycles are also um, dated sometimes, and a lot of time it takes a lot of effort and time to put in a sturdy policy together. Have they been verified? What are the benchmarks for the security standards? Right? Are they being um, adhered to by every employee in the organization? Are they still current, or how old are they? So these things also constantly need a change and evolution from point to point, from point in time to time, so that they can stay current and updated. And then what about security hardware onboarding? In the good old days, companies had a golden image kind of a template which they would apply to every machine that was used in the organization, pretty much standardized. But of late, over the past few years, with the work from home and work from anywhere culture coming in, organizations have given the freedom to choose the device of the employee comfort level which they can use. So how do you know what is a valid device? How do you know what is the device which is a known device, an unknown device, and the risks that come along with it? You could never know what comes through. In an enterprise or an on-premise environment, the network is controlled and we can be in full charge of it. When we are working from a different location, it is not on-premise, we cannot guarantee 100% sure that the connection is secure and data is coming in clearly, or there any other associated risks which are there. Is the identification process automated? Things like this. So these are questions that keep coming up, and I'm sure that the ITAM teams will be having a few nightmares around this, or a lot of work to be done around this, to be in constant alert to make sure that everything is in line with the policies of the organization. There are some research studies conducted over the past years. In 2018, a research was conducted by Gartner on emerging technologies about asset management tools. Everybody acknowledges this is a problematic area, but the facts are out of this study says that only 1 to 5% of the target audience are using tools, are at least available today, and they're aware of the benefits that come out of this. Now, why would somebody want to do something like this? If you look at what is the business factor that drives growth, the growth is the biggest challenge we all face. Like I said, people have the freedom to work from anywhere with any device as long as they have access to the data that they're interested in. It could be a sales team which is running around on the field with a handheld device, or it could be employees working from home, or they could be working in a remote location, whatever. We need to scale up and make sure that compliance is still maintained. Then the next biggest challenge, I'm sure all the IT administrators fail or will find it daunting, would be to manage these devices. It could be in terms of support, it could be in terms of securing them, it could be in terms of monitoring them, in terms of making applications available for the devices, and so on and so on. So while we are saying we are a diverse uh, infrastructure and we are ready to onboard any new hardware that comes in, we also have to keep track of consolidation. Because over a point of time, these devices could be outdated and devices can be replaced from time to time. It is a good thing to have a history of the kind of devices, yes, but also it's also priority and important to have consolidated information about all the devices that are coming onto my network, be it a cell phone, be it a laptop, be it a desktop. Because today the world has transitioned from fixed desktops to cloud and distributed computing models. So consolidation is a very important thing. And keeping a track on growth, but how much we have grown and things like that. And we said diversity. When we say diversity, it means we are treating a lot of heterogeneous devices in a homogeneous manner. For all these purposes, there are very powerful tools which can automate a lot of the laborious tasks that we go through. But still, we rely on our best friend spreadsheets. Um, that is Excel, because that's what we use most commonly, although the other products too. But yet, yes, Excel is the most commonly used. Simplicity is the key. That's why Excel rules, and it helps us have a bird's eye view of all our infrastructure or any other data that we would like to analyze or look at, and it's all in the place kind of a solution. Interestingly, a lot of organizations have said that they do not know what are the total number of or the type of assets they own. It's a very surprising number. 30% is quite a large number. This is again because of growth, which is uncontrolled and always fueled by the spurs of the minute or on a need basis, instantly purchased or acquired devices. It could be for a project based, it could be for permanent ownership in the organization, it could be for a lot of things. But this information is not up to date always. And 30% of the organizations in a study performed by Gartner have admitted that they have no idea of how many assets they own. It could be software and hardware. And this is also a very high number, but a very informative information that says that 43% of organizations still use spreadsheets to track their IT assets. That's fine. I'm okay with it. We're all okay with it only because the ease of use and able to customize the information that the way we want. But however, we know that data input is what drives the quality of the information that we derive out of it, right? So another Gartner study did state that by just knowing your IT at all times enables you to save 30% of your IT budget, which is a pretty good optimization. So if you go by the scale of economics, $1 million infrastructure, 30% savings is a huge thing. Anyway, which also leads us to another thing. Who's going to put this data inside? If I'm going to use a spreadsheet, I'll have to manually key in. Maybe induct a new asset with a asset tag, asset identification, issue to, and whatever other information of interest that is needed. All right, this is one case. What about a case where I just walk in as an employee, get my own personal device, connect to the Wi-Fi, or plug it into the network? That's a question we keep asking, and that's a question we need to know. So typically, we have a lot of processes which allow you to authorize an asset to be entered into the organization, and so on and so on. We have a entry and exit record of that, but still, a lot of times it is possible that I could be working remotely and an unknown asset enters the organizational network. Now, to keep track of this, while it sounds good and very useful, point is who is going to bell the cat, as in who is going to enter the information into this. I hope all of you, at least a large portion of you, agree with that. Collecting this data is the biggest challenge in asset management. Be it licenses, be it knowing what hardware is there, what are the machines, what are the serial numbers, what are their MAC addresses, and so on and so on. Now, if a machine or any asset had to be upgraded or repaired when the new network devices, identifier, or whatever, even they have to be kept track of and they have to be tied to the older asset. This is a very cumbersome and, in my opinion, a very difficult task to perform for anybody in the ITM field, right? Now, another problem area which comes up is auditing of this information. This is something which again is a very difficult and painful task, auditing a per se. And when audits come, we go helter skelter and try to figure out that the information is latest or however we need to qualify it to ensure that we are in compliant norms of the audit and whatever else, right? So another study by Gartner also says that by 2024, the number of audit requests will increase by 100%. I'll not be surprised by this number only for the reason that keeping this information up to date is the biggest challenge anybody faces. The rate at which we acquire assets and the rate at which we update them and maintain that information is a big task. So today, I have my colleague Mr. Munir with me, who will be presenting to you the product called Landsweeper, which will allow you to automate the large part of the hard work and allow you to do more value-added tasks, derive useful information, and save costs and optimize your IT infrastructure. Over to you, Munir.
Thank you, Kiran. In order to achieve all the requirement that we discussed previously, so first of all, we need to identify, understand what is Landsweeper. So Landsweeper is an application that gathers hardware and software information of computers and the other devices on a computer network for management and compliance and audit purpose. The application also encompasses a tickets-based help desk system and capabilities for software updates on target devices. Asset discovery has been both a long-standing priority and a challenge for IT professionals. As IT management has become more centralized, the consequences of not knowing what IT assets are on your network have increased. Organizations also must identify high-value assets with their environments that requires special protection against outside threat. The threat here, the use case we are going to discuss is beware and rogue devices comes into your organization network. So let us see a simple infrastructure diagram here. This is one of the office infrastructure and some of the assets are already on the network, and these assets are being managed by the infra team. So Landsweeper collects all this information and keeps a record of all these assets. What if the rogue devices join your network? So Landsweeper can identify these rogue devices and send reports to the admin for resolution like blocking device from the firewall. So you can see here the rogue devices now join the network and the Landsweeper can identify these rogue devices. So let us see the real scenario, how we detect this kind of rogue devices in the real environment. Okay, so you can see I have already executed some of the command previously, and here we have identified rogue devices, and here is the information of the asset. You can see, okay, and you also can create your ticket for the blocking from the firewall. So you can see the ticket has been created and it is approved for block. Now let's go back to the presentation back, and we will discuss second use case for the vulnerability assessment and how we identify these zero-day exploit and how we remediate these vulnerabilities. IT asset discovery has also risen to become a far more critical aspect of managing and securing IT environments. Everyone knows that you can't secure a device on your network if you don't know that it exists. Asset discovery is essential to managing the appropriate level of IT security and compliance. Why is IT asset discovery a bigger concern now? The answer is multifold, ranging from compliance regulatory mandates to data center consolidation to new security requirement. So I'm going to discuss one use case. So let's start with the new federal mandates. According to the 2016 fiscal year guidance for federal information security, federal agencies are now required to perform inventory and provide inventory reports. Agencies also must identify high value assets with their environments that require special protection against outside threats like your AD server, like your some of the critical information stored on your SAP server. So far, we have discussed discovery of system and network hardware and network device configuration information. All this information is critical, but it's only part of what you really need. Complete IT asset discovery means you have a record of all the software installed on each system. That includes everything from software version information to individual drivers. Discovering installed software asset on Windows servers and workstation as well as various Linux and Unix systems. Your ESX host should be a part of your IT asset discovery tools. Software asset discovery is useful for several purposes, such as audit of license, uses, identifying unapproved software, and finding out of date software version installed on your system. Poorly maintained software is a source of vulnerability, and your organization software need to be regularly patched. Making SAM part of the IT security and maintenance workflow. There is a critical relationship between software asset management and cyber security. Both disciplines requires at their foundation the accurate and continual discovery and inventory of software assets with an organization environment. Today, IT asset management and security teams are usually soiled within organizations, increasing the likelihood that security threats will slip through the gap. For instance, discovery and inventory of software assets are critical to both asset management as well as for the security team, but are currently undertaken separately in most organizations. Organizations able to leverage asset management insight combined with vulnerability data to rapidly address the most relevant cybersecurity threats will be ahead of the game. They can more effectively reduce the attack surface for cybercrimes and hackers. That means they will have to prepare to identify and respond for breaches. With Lansweeper, you can identify vulnerabilities and can remediate them using patch deployment. So let us see how we identify zero-day exploit in Lansweeper and how we deliver the patch over this network. So here I have already identified a zero-day exploit for one of my server, and you can see it is coming as a pink, and here some of the KB patches are missing. We need to install any one of the listed packages that is available based on Tuesday, Microsoft Tuesday report. Just a simple click and you can deploy the package. Here I have already created a package here and deploy yes. And in the deployment installer logs, you can see the logs, you can see executing the packages. Okay, and the package successfully deployed, and this vulnerability is now remediated successfully without a challenge. So you have seen the ease of use here, how we deploy the packages very easily. Now let's go back to the presentation back again. Highly effective asset discovery will also allow for dramatically enhanced asset management. The information you collect can be used by the IT operations team, IT security team, and across the organization to enhance application management, network management, and much more. Making IT discovery a key process of your cybersecurity management enables you to discover new devices as they come into the organization and inventory all software and hardware across your IT environment. The strength of unified endpoint management system is its ability to make compliance management and reporting part of regular IT maintenance and security workflows instead of separate cores. Perhaps the greatest benefit is the transparency, consistency, and productivity in daily maintenance and security procedures. For many years, asset discovery list at the very top of most industry leading security framework such as ISO, NIST, and CIS. With all this information available, your IT operations become efficient and you can mitigate cybersecurity threats. Plus, you are compliant. Any questions? Please drop your questions in a question chat box.
A question from Mr. Anand Gopal Krishnan. His question is, if the ports are appropriately blocked, how can rogue devices get in?
In case if a user using physical devices, okay, and we are currently working from home and the users join your network using the VPN, that time you don't have any control because the user is authenticated through the VPN. So that Lansweeper can identify these devices as a rogue devices because it is a challenge for an organization because you have because the physical device join the network, it could lead to a big security threats in your organization because that physical laptop doesn't comply with the organization compliance regulatory. I hope I
There's one
answered
more
your
question.
query. Yep.
Okay. There's another question, Mr. Munir, is how do you find a rogue device?
Okay, so in Lansweeper, we have a technology called Asset Radar. So that keeps the information through the packet sniffing. So if a device connect your network using Wi-Fi, VPN, comes into the network, we use the NCAP driver to capture these packets, and we identify these devices. So we have asset radar technology in LANSweeper. I hope
Okay.
I answered you.
There's another question that's come in. Says, do we need to store patches in the LAN sweeper for deployment?
Yes, you can create a one centralized location where you keep all the packages for the deployment, and from the centralized location you can use the centralized location and deploy the packages over your infrastructure.
So is it done via LAN sweeper or any other tool like SCCM and so on?
No, it is directly done by the LANSweeper.
All right. So question one was answered. That's fine. There's one more question that's come in which says, how do you find vulnerabilities in the assets like zero day? It's a pretty interesting terminology and it's a pretty big thing, but we'd like to know, how do you find out vulnerabilities in the assets like zero day? That's what the question says.
Yeah, really nice and good question here. So if we talk about the zero-day exploits, so we have inbuilt reports in our LANSweeper, because we have explained previously that we keep the information of each and every software asset manager. That's why LANSweeper called as a ITAM and ITSAM. So we have each and every information of your assets in LANSweeper. So when we run a report with a specific versions, like take an example for Microsoft Tuesday patch report, it releases every month with some packages that if you do not install these packages will be vulnerable to your operating system. So we identify these packages using our report section, and we gather the information what assets do not have these packages installed, and from here they can deploy packages very easily on a single click. I hope I answered
Okay.
your query.
But are there any, let's say, ports that are left or that need to be opened up in case of LAN sweeper? Are there any special port requirements or network requirements that need to be enabled? That's a question we have received.
Yeah, and LANSweeper works based on a agent lens as well as with agent. So if you are in a domain network and you want to scan all your domain, so you have make available, make ensure that the WMI is enabled, remote registries are running well. So these are the prerequisites that we need to enable from the infra side. If you are concerned about the work group or the users are working from home, and these users do not have any static IP and they are not using any VPN, in that case, they can use the LANSweeper agent. LANSweeper agent syncs this information directly with the LANSweeper.
Okay.
So these two
So how do we
methods
send this?
are
Uh, yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, I'm finished.
So there's another question that's come in which says, how do you send this information to the infrastructure team?
Okay, the information sending to infrastructure team is very easy in LANSweeper. Either you can use the help desk, inbuilt help desk that is available in LANSweeper. So here is the help desk that you can use, and you can create some of the tickets. Okay, so let's take an example. If you do identify some rogue devices and you want to block devices, you can create a ticket priority and you can send to the concerned team. And more features like URL whitelisting and port patching is also available. So you can create your own tickets and can send to your team members. You also can add your managers for approval for internal teams. You can add directly from here. I hope I answered your query.
Yes. So that's about it. We have no more questions. There are no more questions have arrived. So that's about it. Okay. So thank you very much for Mr. Munir for that insightful uh, session on LANSweeper. So thank you all for attending this webinar, and we look forward to hear from you soon. Thank you very much.